about all of the races that are happening.
Right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go county by county, and we're going to have a little breakdown of these contested races. We're going to give you an overview of the races that are taking place, and we'll start with Cayuga County. 5 contested legislative races. We've got an Auburn City Council race, and then supervisor races in Genoa and Moravia. Obviously, Cayuga County is a very large county. It's one of those geographically like Seneca County in that you have wildly different political and social approaches. Very rural, very urban, that mix. Always interesting to me to kind of see how these, and in a lot of ways it's like an Ontario County where you have a Geneva or a Canandaigua as opposed to a Bristol or a community like that. That said, Conquest Town Council, Fleming Town Council, Ira Town Council, the Ledyard Town Clerk, Ledyard Town Justice, Ledyard Town Council, Mentz Town Council, Montezuma Town Council, Montezuma Highway, Moravia Town Council, Owasco Town Council, Scipio Town Council, Summerhill Highway, and the Victory Town Council all have races in addition to those that we mentioned in the first part. Just not nearly as interesting. Like we said, highway races, there's a lot to talk about there.
Yeah, highway supervisor and coroner do puzzle me a little bit. I'm not sure how you make a distinct political position out of, a partisan position out of those functions. Those seem fairly straightforward. I'm not sure that Democrats pave roads differently than Republicans. I'm not sure that that they do forensic analysis of death differently from a partisan perspective. I hope not. So yeah, that's always kind of surprised me. I think those are just holdovers to the idea that government jobs are supposed to be kind of plumb political appointments. And that I could have less of, clearly. So it's interesting, though, that in Cayuga County, like you were saying, like Seneca County, in some of these communities, you do have what you would consider to be traditional contested races, Democrats and Republicans, conservative and working families. But in some of the more rural areas, it's really a contested race between a Republican and a conservative, or a Republican, a third party line who is a Republican that is breaking off from the Republicans. So we see that in all the counties, that in the more rural areas, it ends up being more like a Republican primary than a general election kind of race.
And I'll also say, on the structural government side, I'm always very curious about these counties that have a legislature, and yet you still have town councils, supervisors, and councils. And I'm just I always kind of wonder what that relationship looks like. Is it more efficient? Does it work better than having the supervisors actually be the county representatives as well? Is it less efficient? Does it just add another layer of bureaucracy? Genuinely curious.
Yeah, my opinion is that it's another layer, but that if your population is small enough and you don't have independent water, sewer, police, fire services, I'm not sure what's being managed that is much different than the county. Now, I'm sure, and I welcome feedback from the supervisors and counselors from these very small communities about their value-added service to their community. And I certainly like the idea that people should be represented, by someone that represents fewer rather than a huge district.
Right.
But decision-making wise, maybe that's just an argument for making your county legislature bigger and more representative than actually having all these independent layers of government. That's a bigger discussion than just elections, though.
Oh, and also, we will be, underneath this video, there will be links.